Tonight from Singapore, President Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un have both arrived here. The president stepping off Air Force One for what he calls a mission of peace. Now set to meet face-to-face with Kim Jong-un, the first time ever a sitting U.S. president will meet with the leader of North Korea. And when asked how long it will take for the president to know if Kim Jong-un is serious, he said he will know within the first minute. Our team, John Carl, Martha Raddatz, all joining me live. Also developing tonight, President Trump taking aim at Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, calling him dishonest and weak after what Trudeau said after the G7. The president's team saying there's a special place in hell for any foreign leader who engages in bad faith diplomacy. So what was it Trudeau said? And tonight, the images of those world leaders, their body language, now seen around the world. Back in the U.S. tonight, the wildfire doubling in size, more than 2,000 homes in danger. They are going door to door tonight. The severe storms from Iowa all the way to the East Coast, winds ripping off rooftops. Flash flood watches tonight from D.C. to Philadelphia. The deadly house explosion blown to pieces, several homes in that neighborhood badly damaged. And the heartbreak over the loss of Anthony Bourdain. Tonight, what we've now learned about his final days.
This is a special edition of World News Tonight with David Muir, reporting tonight from Singapore.
And good evening tonight from Singapore, where we begin the week with all of you at home a night early on this Sunday night, because both President Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un have landed here in Singapore. This has not happened before with a sitting U.S. president, and of course the stakes are enormous. Kim Jong-un arriving with his entourage of aides and bodyguards, President Trump arriving a few hours later. Their hotels here are just about a half-mile apart. This has been a roller coaster for so many of you back home to witness and for the world to witness. Kim Jong-un and his missile tests and the test of that hydrogen bomb. President Trump threatening fire and fury, calling Kim Jong-un Little Rocket Man. But in just a little more than 24 hours from now, they will meet face-to-face. ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl here in Singapore, leading us off.
President Trump says he's been preparing for this moment his entire life. As he landed in Singapore, he sounded confident.
How are you feeling about the summit?
Is it going to be a success?
5 hours earlier, an Air China jet touched down here carrying Kim Jong-un. It's only the third time the North Korean leader has traveled outside his isolated country since taking power. Traveling with him, his sister, who has assumed a more prominent role in the run-up to the summit. On the streets of Singapore, hundreds turned out to watch the North Korean motorcade drive by. Kim's personal bodyguards running alongside his limousine. Later, the reclusive dictator thanked Singapore's prime minister for his, quote, sincere efforts for the summit. If the summit proves successful, Kim declared, the name of Singapore will go down in history. The eyes of the world are now on the 36-year-old dictator. His new shift to diplomacy comes after a year of escalating provocations. He has tested a hydrogen bomb and more missiles than both his father and grandfather combined, including at least one capable of reaching the United States.
Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself and for his regime.
Threats and the name-calling have gone both ways. Kim has called Trump a mentally deranged dotard and an old lunatic. Trump has called Kim a maniac, a madman, and a sick puppy.
They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
But now President Trump calls the summit a one-time shot to make peace.
I feel that Kim Jong-un wants to do something great for his people, and he has that opportunity, and he won't have that opportunity again. It's never going to be there again.
He says he'll know immediately if Kim is serious.
And how long will it take? I think within the first minute, I'll know.
How?
Just my touch, my feel. That's what I do. I think I'll know pretty quickly whether or not, in my opinion, something positive will happen. And if I think it won't happen, I'm not going to waste my time. I don't want to waste his time.
And John Carl joined us live here in Singapore tonight. John, we just heard the president say there that he will know in 1 minute if Kim Jong-un is serious about denuclearization. But we've been listening to the president closely in recent days. He's also tried to lower expectations somewhat, describing the summit now as really just a first step.
He's really done both, raised expectations and lowered expectations. He's called it the one shot for peace and just a first step. This first handshake, David, between President Trump and Kim Jong-un will be a carefully choreographed event, the two men coming together before the cameras. They will have two meetings. The first one, a very small group of people, just the president, Kim Jong-un, their translators, and at the very most, one more on the American side, Secretary Pompeo. David?
We know their every step as they approach one another will be planned in the coming hours. John Carl leading us off tonight. John, thank you. President Trump comes here to make peace with one of America's fiercest enemies, just as he takes aim at a key U.S. ally tonight. The president comes straight here from a tense meeting with America's staunchest allies. This remarkable photo tonight, so many around the world studying the body language here after the president refused to back down from those stiff tariffs he has now imposed on allies, including Canada. And tonight, the administration's harshest criticism is for Canada's Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, who said after the G7 that his country won't be pushed around. ABC's chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz tonight with the extraordinary war of words unfolding elsewhere.
Tonight, President Trump and his top economic advisors attacking one of America's closest allies, accusing Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of undermining the peace talks with Kim Jong-un.
Here's the thing. I mean, he really kind of stabbed us in the back.
It comes just hours after the president left the G7 summit, where he frustrated world leaders by refusing to back away from his plans to impose stiff tariffs on aluminum and steel from Canada and other allies. He called it a matter of national security. Trudeau called that insulting and vowed to retaliate by slapping tariffs on American goods.
It is not something we relish doing, but it is something that we absolutely will do, because Canadians, we're polite, we're reasonable, but we also will not be pushed around.
Trump was furious in an angry tweet, calling Trudeau very dishonest and weak. And then a stunning decision. The American president refused to sign the traditional statement of solidarity with the G7 allies, a statement his own team helped draft. Today, the message from the White House: blame Canada.
There's a special place in hell for any foreign leader that engages in bad faith diplomacy with President Donald J. Trump and then tries to stab him in the back on the way out the door.
The president's top economic advisor calls Trudeau's work a betrayal, a sophomoric political stunt, and a slap in the face.
POTUS is not going to let a Canadian prime minister push him around. He is not going to permit any show of weakness on the trip to negotiate with North Korea. Kim must not see American weakness.
That wasn't all.
He ought to come out and apologize in the name of the Western allies. Okay, he ought to come out today and wish President Trump well in the negotiations.
So now, as he heads into talks with one of America's greatest enemies, President Trump's relations with America's closest friends plunging to a new low. From French President Emmanuel Macron today, a warning: international cooperation cannot depend on fits of anger.
This was really something to witness today. Martha Raddatz with us here in Singapore as well. And Martha, to think that the president is going to be sitting down in the coming hours with Kim Jong-un, and yet this war of words with some of our closest U.S. allies. Larry Kudlow seemed to indicate that this harsh attack is in part because the summit is happening right after the G7.
Which is inexplicable. What Trudeau was doing was basically defending his country, which you've heard Donald Trump do over and over and over again during the years. He's the one that started this with the tariffs. And it was also Donald Trump who turned to name-calling. What the connection with this summit is unclear.
It seems the White House knows the world is watching everything right now. Martha Raddatz with us here in Singapore. Martha, thank you. We're going to have much more from here in Singapore. I'll be showing you some of the sights and sounds as they prepare in this for this great historic summit. Full coverage right here on ABC News. Good Morning America, first thing in the morning. We'll be live here tomorrow night when President Trump and Kim Jong-un meet for the first time. I'll be joining George, Martha, John, and the entire team, and we'll go on live when it happens. In the meantime, to the other news this Sunday night, into the wildfire threat in the West. A new round of mandatory evacuations in Colorado at this hour. The 416 fire near Durango nearly doubling in size overnight. People forced to leave some 2,000 homes. Hot, dry conditions are fueling those flames, and it's just 10% contained. Here's ABC's Marcy Gonzalez tonight.
Tonight, Colorado homeowners given just minutes to evacuate after a massive wildfire doubled in size.
We go this way?
Yep. Just head down that way, okay?
I'm sorry, I'm freaking out.
Nope, that's okay.
Thank you.
Crews outside of Durango taking to the air and on the ground, desperately trying to contain the so-called 416 fire. Officials declaring a code red.
This area is under mandatory evacuation.
More than 2,000 homes now evacuated, the fire burning more than 16,000 acres. This man racing to pack his family's belongings.
We immediately came out here and we find out we have an hour.
Scrambling to decide what's most important to take with them. And right now, David, the fire has closed part of a highway. It is only 10% contained, and tonight the cause is still under investigation. David?
Marcy, thank you. And next, those fires are not the only concern we're watching at this hour. A tornado threat in South Dakota and Wyoming right now, and strong storms in the Midwest heading to the already waterlogged Mid-Atlantic. Those storms damaging property in northern Iowa and triggering flash floods in Mason City, Iowa. They are watching from D.C. to Philly tonight, and meteorologist Rob Marciano tracking it all for us. Hey, Rob.
David, another round of strong thunderstorms rolling across the Ohio River Valley tonight, and heavy rain from D.C. to Baltimore, including a flood warning out now for Ellicott City, but that flash flood watch extends north of Philadelphia, and it's going to be kind of a mess tomorrow morning for the commute there. Tomorrow afternoon, the severe weather threat extends from Des Moines to Kansas City, along I-35 down to Oklahoma City, and out west in Southern California, critical fire danger. But the Intermountain West, hot, dry, and windy conditions this evening, critical fire danger there, including the fire outside of Durango, which continues to grow. David?
Rob Marciano tracking it all for us tonight. Rob, thank you. We're going to turn next to that deadly explosion in an Ohio neighborhood tonight. The blast destroying one home, damaging several others, shattering windows 2 streets away, in fact. Several people were injured, and at least one person did not survive this. ABC's Kenneth Moten with the investigation tonight.
The deadly explosion rocked this East Cleveland neighborhood, obliterating this home.
Dispatcher says it's 30. We just seen a large fireball go up and checking it out.
Firefighters racing to put out the flames. This house leveled. Others also caught fire. Debris scattered for yards.
The roof looks like it was just lifted off the house and taken into the backyard.
Be advised, we have people down. We need rescue here.
Firefighters desperately search for those trapped under the debris, including one woman.
You could see her waving, and all the neighbors started screaming and hollering, somebody help her, somebody help her.
Neighbors say first responders reached the woman, but it was too late. Another man suffering major burns was rushed to the hospital.
The house blew up, 2, 3 of them.
The blast so powerful it tore the sides right off the neighboring homes and sent wood and shattered glass flying, causing minor injuries. David, residents reported the smell of gas before the blast. Fire officials say the cause is under investigation, but at this point they say there were no reported leaks before the explosion. David?
Kenneth Moten tonight. Kenneth, thank you. And next here, the heartbreak and confusion over the shocking death of Anthony Bourdain. He, of course, was the chef and TV host who so many people admired for his curiosity, his sense of adventure, his tolerance. But we are learning tonight he suffered from loneliness, too. And ABC's Adrian Banker with new details of his final days.
Tonight, friends, family, and fans grappling with why Anthony Bourdain, pictured here after a meal in France just days ago, took his own life. The New York Times reports there was cause for concern when the 61-year-old didn't show up for dinner Thursday, then missed breakfast Friday morning. Moments later, he was found unresponsive in his hotel room by an employee.
What are the specialités of the region?
So they do the raclette.
Cheese.
You know, like, yeah, cheese.
Right.
The fondue.
That's cheese.
Bourdain was once again filming with his friend chef Eric Ripert, the two here together in an episode last year in the French Alps. Amidst fame and fortune, at times it was his loneliness, broadcast loud and clear.
Is it worse to be someplace awful when you're by yourself? Or someplace really nice that you can't share with anyone?
The news of his death shocking fans. The New York City restaurant where he first became famous for his book, Kitchen Confidential, now a makeshift shrine. Fans laying flowers and notes. You inspired me to take my first journey outside the United States, this one says. Tonight, one fan, North Dakota columnist Marilyn Haggerty, fondly remembers when Bourdain came to her defense after she wrote a glowing review of a new Olive Garden and was mocked for it.
He was one of the